Hello there and welcome. It's time for the top 8 game from the Evergreen Open Grand Tournament, and this match is going to be between Donovan, who, spoiler alert, we saw in the final game, um, and so he's bringing that same list, the Darth Vader, Emperor's Servant, with Stormtrooper Sergeant and Dark Troopers, along with Moff Gideon, Death Trooper Escort, and Fifth Brother. And he's on the right, and he's going to be against Chris on the left, who is running Plo Koon and Hunter. So he will also be bringing 6 Force, Bad Batch squad there as per usual, without Crosshair. Plo Koon bringing his squad of clones, Commander Wolf and the Wolf Pack, and I think we're seeing Commander Wolf and Wolf Pack with Bad Batch sometimes, but the thing is, Plo Koon, some people say that he's got a bit of kind of anti synergy with Hunter and Hunter's squad, because a lot of his stuff is keying off of troopers or Padawans, and um, and so none of the Bad Batch are actually troopers. They're clone troopers, but they're not troopers like the Wolf Pack here. So the Wolf Pack is um, the support group. They're the only ones that Plo Koon can actually use his abilities on. Because even Echo and Tech being the supports, usually the supports are troopers, but I think because these are named characters, they're not troopers. So that's something that's a little bit limiting for Plo Koon. So he's always got to pick, well, if he wants to also get a dash off that, or get a dash from these defensive abilities, then he has to be picking the Wolfpack. But anyway, they're playing on Sabotage Showdown, and I think it's the one where it's either remove 2 damage or a condition when you pull the Shatterpoint, or when you pick someone to use the Shatterpoint. So let's get started. Donovan's going to pull Moff Gideon, so he can dash an Empire character within 4, and then dash himself. Looks like he's going to dash a Dark Trooper up to the Ingress point on the top, his top back objective, and then dash up to his other one. We'll see if he also goes for move and take cover. Yeah, for the that point near the bottom. So he'll be controlling those 3 objectives. He's going to spend the Force for Long Live the Empire. So that's going to give that Dark Trooper a reposition over to the other midline objective at the top. They're going to take 2 damage, and he will be controlling 4 objectives. Pretty big opening with Moff Gideon there on Empire's side. Chris is going to get the Shatterpoint. Now, he can spend just 1 to shuffle it back in, because it's not a unit order card. because he has to spend 2 if he's reserving a units order card based on Moff Gideon's ability. But I think the force budget is going to be a little tight already with 6 for this crew, so he's going to go ahead. Oh, got the reminder for Hunter's enhanced tracker where he can dash towards Moff Gideon after that move. With Hunter, give Wrecker to Omega advance just into the board. Keep him contesting that back point. Then Hunter's going to take the ingress point up. Got ranged attack in Huntsman. On the Dark Trooper at the top there. Gonna add an expertise, or turn a fail into an expertise with Hunter's innate ability there. So it sounds like 2 is going through. Gonna do the 2 damage, expose and shove. The damage from the expertise was already marked. But a total of 3 on that attack. Expose him. Follow up, and then I got a dash from his expertise as well. So I'm not going to do the striking distance for the dash and 5 dice attack to get them off there. So he'll just be taking the 2 objectives on that turn. So Donovan is getting the Dark Troopers. Spend 1 for the jump with the Dark Troopers. And then he's going to do attack. I'm not sure if it is focus and attack given that jump. Getting 4 steps through for 5 damage, pin, push, and strain. He's going to push Hunter towards the other one. And then take a shot. Also moving him a bit closer to Vader, I guess, in case he doesn't get the wound here. But sounds like we were getting 3 through again. Doing another shove, pin for damage. And so that will get the wound on Hunter. Oh, so he's doing a recover action now, so he's gonna take some damage off of those Dark Troopers. And so he will get the 4 points. Wrecker and Omega for Chris. So hopefully he would be able to finish off those Dark Troopers and be able to claim another point. Starts off with a dash, which won't be close enough to do the shove, but it'll get him moving over towards whichever objective he decides to go for. They're going to take the dash up the Ingress point towards the Dark Trooper. Do a ranged attack on boom side. Dark Troopers have protection and immunity to pin. So 3 damage down to 2. Pin doesn't do anything. Wrecker will get a dash and then do a shove. Dash and then give him a shove and do the follow up to get right on the point. So thinking about doing the active ability, which costs an action, but give him another ranged attack. It does have to be ranged though, so he's thinking about not taking the follow-up on that shove so that he can be not engaged and do that ranged attack. Try to finish off the Dark Trooper. So he needs 4 damage in order to get through the protection and get the wound. Sounds like he's getting his 3 steps through. Yeah, so he's getting 4 damage and strain. And he'll get the wound on the Dark Troopers. So he wasn't able to dash or follow up to be on the proper elevation with that objective, but he does flip it for now for 3 points. Donovan getting 5th brother. and he's going to reserve him, which is a good plan. He can't really reach that back point close to Plo Koon. Can I prefer to have someone on the side that Wrecker is on? He's picking Stormtrooper Sergeant next, so he'll be able to should give an advance to a support unit. So we can give that to Fifth Brother. So it's just going to pop him up. Ingress point. Yes, that'll cause damage on Fifth Brother. And then Stormtrooper Sergeant is going to take cover first. Make sure you can get past Hunter, and then just advance to that ingress or to the objective at the proper elevation. And so he'll be controlling all 4 points. Oh. Alright. So he does have crosshair, not Commander Wolf. So Chris is picking crosshair. He's gonna see who's in line of sight for the trick shot. He's doing one to the Stormtrooper Sergeant. I thought it was Commander Wolf on Longshanks there, but I'll double check here. Obviously he's using crosshair, but I made my lists based on what's on Longshanks, I thought. Oh yeah, he didn't have his lists fully written out. So I did assume that. There we go, fixed now anyway. So he's doing find the shot to do the climb, move action, can take a shot at Moff Gideon. So Moff Gideon is getting his hunker and cover. So he'll have 8 dice on defense, while Crosshair has 10 attack dice. Chris is turning one of his 6 fails to a expertise to get him another crit and damage, because he'll have 2 expertise now. So getting 4 steps for 7 damage. Oh, he's taking the top to get the push. He's going to push and pin. Do the follow-up. I think they're going to be tied on that point. So still just taking the 2. It's going to be stay on Donovan's side, which gives him a momentum. So now looking at the 5th brother, and he is going to go with him. Now he has someone in range that he can go attack. So taking the advance. Probably going to need the forced jump to get into range. And then do an attack on Crosshair, who doesn't really like to be in melee with people. Still the 5 dice though. Getting one step, 1 damage off the expertise, so 2 damage and shove, and that's going to shove Crosshair off. So that's going to be a hard point to take now because both of them are tiebreakers. Even if he wounds Moff Gideon, then he'll need 2 people there to break the tie with 5th brother. So that's going to be 4 points for Donovan again. And Chris is pulling Echo and Tech. You can go for that point that Stormtrooper Sergeant is on. Looking at how close he has to get, where he has to get to for them to get their attack off, because they're range 4. Both going to advance towards that ladder. I think he's going to be a little bit out. But can use keep a low profile to get a dash and get in range for the attack. Actually slightly out of range currently with one of them. First, the one up is going to shoot down at Stormtrooper Sergeant. Getting 1 step for restrain and damage, but Dark Troopers, or no, Stormtrooper Sergeant. Yeah, so then the other one is going to do an attack in melee. Three damage, +1 for the strain, and then he's going to get a shove. Shove, but not quite getting him out of range. That point will remain tied, which means he'll only get 2 and momentum. So Donovan already has 4 points. He's gonna get this struggle. So he can he's picked Vader, trying to decide, given what's left, because the Shatterpoint's still in his deck as well, if he should just go with Vader, and he is going to refresh a force for his tactic, and it looks like he's aiming to just run into the center. So we're taking the advance and doing the dash for anger, hate, and aggression. And it's going to throw his lightsaber at Wrecker, it sounds like. As protection steadfast. Yeah, he's still on Wrecker's side, so no dashes in the defensive expertise. No danger of that point flipping. Not sure that he got anything through on that, but he will get the struggle. So it's the lines across the table. Center's going to be active, but he's probably, yeah, basically, Plo Koon's squad, Plo Koon and the Wolf Pack haven't gone, so probably better to keep the back point on that side, even though, well, yeah, because the Dark Troopers are wounded, so he's not actually holding, Donovan's not actually holding either of those back points, I don't think, unless the Dark Trooper or Death Trooper escort is in range, but I'm not sure he is. He is going to go with one where the Dark Trooper is standing on it, but wounded. And because Darth Vader did not wound anybody, he's going to be shuffled back into Donovan's deck. It's going to be the back point. Or no, center point. So as long as you can get someone up at the proper elevation, you'll be able to easily get that point. Wolfpack do have enough movement to get there. So we're going to do move action. One of them is going to move, do a climb to secure that back point for him. The other one's going to advance forward towards the center. And then they're going to do run and gun, dash to the center, get a focus. So they're going to have to do ranged attacks. So the one on the center is going to take a shot at Stormtrooper Sergeant. See if you can finish off Stormtrooper Sergeant. So nothing getting through on that one, unfortunately. The other one's going to shoot at Fifth Brother because I think he's the only one in range. Nothing getting through on that either. But Chris will score the 3 points. Oh, so they're marking. Right. Yeah. Chris marked the point that the Dark Trooper's on, but he's wounded, so that is not under Donovan's control currently. And he is going to pick the Shatterpoint. It's going to be the back point for Donovan. Might make Shatterpointing the Dark Troopers tempting, but it seems like he's going to go with Stormtrooper Sergeant and have Fifth Brother do an advance, or they're talking about the Death Trooper escort as well, could give him a reposition. Because Fifth Brother does have 1 damage on him, so it would be a reposition instead of a dash. So he's going to do that. And his tiebreaker, I think, will flip that point, because I think he is just in range there. They're going to check that now. A little hard to determine with the tree like that. Judge for a range check there. He is contesting. So Death Trooper escort, I'm gonna use a force to take a dash, do tactical advance for the dash and focus, then move action to get. I don't know. Looks like he's gonna take the shot first. So we got sharpshooter. So with the focus, he's gonna be rolling 9 dice into Wolfpack. Getting 1 damage and a shove through. So using the follow-up to get in range and then take cover. So then he will be getting 3 points, which will land them back on the 0. Get a momentum for each side. So it's the back point again for Chris. So hopefully he gets blow, but is Hunter. Hunter could definitely go try and get that Donovan's back point from the Death Trooper escort. He should have gotten a dash when, or no, he's wounded, so that would have costed a force, I think. I was thinking of enhanced tracker, but that's a reactive ability. Now that he's wounded, it'll cost a force to get that dash off of enemy primary doing a move action. Going with Hunter, he can give give someone a dash, a clone trooper a dash, or a Bad Batch character a advance. So we could have either the Wolfpack or Crosshair potentially move into range of that back point. That's the priority, but they might not be able to land at the proper elevation. So he's going to have tech reposition or advance onto the center point at the proper elevation. So that will be flipping that point. Clearing damage and picking between strain and pin. He's going to take the pin off. The problem he's running into is that there's no room to use that ingress point in order to get up to the other objective. So he kind of needs to do a climb. But before doing that, he'd have to wound Stormtrooper Sergeant because he's currently engaged. And he only has 3 health left, so should be able to do that. But unfortunately, that'll mean that he'll just be up tying that point and not able to push Death Trooper Escort off. So, because he's activating within 4 of Echo, he actually gets to remove a condition. So, he was able to remove both. Hunter's getting 4 down the tree. So definitely 2 shoves, 4 damage, and strain. Five damage and strain. Strain will become another damage. That'll get the wound. Oops. Do 2 pushes, and he gets a dash. Decide what to do with all of the dashes, and he's got an action left with Hunter there. So he can only get up and tie the point, but Donovan's pointing out that Death Trooper Escort is one of the 2 cards left in his deck, so he could probably just push Hunter off pretty much right away because he Shatterpointed him. So Hunter's going to move towards the middle. And so that will leave Chris with just the 1 point. Oof. Now, unfortunately, he has now left Hunter engaged with Vader, who has been pulled next. But Vader is going to move away. I think he's looking to get a shove. Yeah, he's looking to shove tech off of that center point. Used the auto refresh, but then used it for the dash to get the 3 extra dice. So getting either full tree or 1 from the expertise, and 4 for the wound there. Trying to see if he can do the shove through and land. They did already shove someone through the side of the tree there. So yeah, they're deciding that kind of is if this was more designed to be like standard heights, the way normal Shatterpoint terrain would be, the ladder wouldn't go up above the height of the tree. So they're going to say that he can be shoved through that spot. And so now Vader, having wounded someone, can dash a Galactic Empire character. She's going to get the dash to the 5th brother. And then jump up, do a climb, and be sitting up on that point. So he's got getting 4 points here. So it's going to be the center for Chris. And he'll be pulling Plo now. He can give a dash to Galactic Republic unit. But if it's a trooper, which will be the Wolf Pack, then he can also get a dash. He can't go for the back point or anything. Of that ingress point, the way it's positioned. Can really only go for the back point that he's close to. Just going to do the climb. And attack Fifth Brother. So only one step getting through for 2 damage and pin, but he has 2 characters against Fifth Brother as 1, so he will flip the points, but it will only be 1 point. And momentum for not crossing 0. Death Trooper Escort being pulled next. The priority is the one that Plo just flipped. So he's only currently sitting with 2. Death Trooper Escort can't get another character over there because it's Galactic Empire supporting units. So he's going to choose himself. Get for the dash. Get a dash from Tactical Advance. And try to take a shot. I was going to do move action. And then so 2 dashes in the advance, getting him over to the ingress point. And so now he can to attack on the Wolf Pack. If he shoves them off or wounds them, then Fifth Brother will take that point. He's attacking Plo Koon. Maybe he's potentially easier target to shove. So Death Trooper Escort got 3 down the tree and a damage from the expertise, so 4 damage, 2 shoves, disarm, and so Fifth Brother is going to get that point. Get him 4 points, and that will be the end of the match. So definitely a game to show how good this Empire team can be. So much out of activation movement, keeping the pressure up with the attacks. Not a ton of wounding, actually. I think he wounded Hunter and Echo and Tech, but that was actually it, I think. So not a ton of wounding, but just so much out of activation movement that it was really hard for the Bad Batch and Plo to keep up with. Plo being drawn last also wasn't helpful because he brings a lot more defense to the list and more potential staying power. But the force budget is also a little tight with this list as well, because Bad Batch all wants to use force. Wrecker, he used the 2 force for the second attack. Everyone else wants to take 1, and then yeah, just nothing left for Plo with the force push there. But that was the top 8 match between Donovan and Chris, and the top 4 match is actually going to be Donovan as well, and it'll be him taking on his father, Ryan. So look out for that, and I'll see you next time.